All right, so let's talk about nunchucks. I can't believe there's people out there saying that they are not that effective. Well, those people don't know how to use them. Look, I am a bodybuilder, right? I've done like 4 or 5 shows. I'm in the gym every week, which means okay, I'm a very, very strong guy. I lift heavy ass weights every week. So if I were to swing at you with nunchucks, bro, you would be either dead or in the hospital based on how strong I am. If I lift heavy ass weights in the gym every week, just imagine if I knocked you out with nunchucks to your skull, you would be dead or in a hospital, literally. Because I know how to use them. I am an expert on using them now. You know what I'm saying? Don't fear the chucks. Fear the guy using them. All right, so here is another fact that people don't tell you about nunchucks. Look at Michaelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Look at all his movies. Look at all his TV shows. Look at all his cartoon shows. If you notice, he never uses his nunchucks. Why? Because the makers of the show, they stopped him from using them because they are too violent. Let that sink in. If they are not effective, then why did the makers of the show take away Michelangelo's nunchucks from being used on the show and in movies? How about you think about that before saying they are not effective? They must be effective if they feel like they are too violent for kids to watch on TV and in movies. Go back and watch the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie this year. Last time I checked, Michelangelo did not use his nunchucks in that movie. If you look at the cartoon in the late 90s, guess what? They took away his nunchucks and they replaced them with a damn yo-yo. What's up with that? But by your logic, nunchucks are not dangerous. Nunchucks are not effective. Okay, why did they take him away from Michelangelo in movies and in TV shows? I need answers. There's a reason why every single one of them, they are known for their one weapon. There's a reason why Michelangelo only uses nunchucks. There's a reason why each and every one of them only use that one weapon that they have, because they are masters at those weapons. So if they're in a fight, they can whoop your ass because they have knowledge. They have mastered their weapons of choice, just like in video games. If you play Mortal Kombat or Tekken, there's always somebody on those kind of games that are known for their one weapon, and they know how to use that weapon, don't they? Right? Just like Negan from The Walking Dead. There's a reason why he's known for that bat, because he knows how to use that bat. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to make. I've never seen Michelangelo work with a bow staff or something else. He always works with nunchucks only. That's his trademark weapon, and he's an expert on it. He knows how to use it. So you gotta fear him, just like Nightwing. He has a damn bow staff, right? Because he knows how to use it. Every game that he's on, he always has that bow staff because he knows how to use it. Just like Robin. Robin knows how to use that fucking sword. That's the only thing he uses now is that damn sword, right? See, you gotta fear those guys that have spent years and hours and months training with that same weapon. Because most likely, they know all the tips and the pros and the secrets on how to use them in a self-defense kind of situation. So, I'm gonna say it again. Don't fear the weapon, fear the person who is holding that weapon, because they might be an expert on how to use that weapon. Just because a weapon is dangerous, that don't mean you know how to use that weapon. Every weapon takes training. Not just, oh, I'm gonna pick it up and I know how to use it. No, bro, that's not how this shit works. So I've been on YouTube watching people give their opinions on, are nunchucks a usable self-defense weapon, and do they work? Now, I'm seeing people saying, well, what if somebody takes away your nunchucks? Or what if somebody blocks them, or this or that? I'm like, look, all that is bullshit, right? Listen, nunchucks are dangerous, but here's my advice. You don't gotta fear the weapon itself. You don't gotta fear nunchucks. You better fear the guy that's swinging them. It's all about the guy that's swinging them you should be worried about, not the fucking nunchucks. Because it's like what Bruce Lee said. He don't fear a man that knows how to do 10,000 kicks. He fears a man that knows how to do that one kick 10,000 times. That's the guy you should fear. Like I said, it's all about who is swinging them. Do they know what they're doing? Because it's a very complex weapon that you need tons of practice on. Because let's say somebody were to block and take away your chucks, right? In a fight, which is very unlikely, by the way. Let's say somebody takes them away. Okay, so obviously they don't know how to use them, so you don't have nothing to worry about. Because it's a very complicated weapon to master, so who cares if somebody were to take it away? Because they're not gonna do shit with them. Because it's like that one movie of Bruce Lee, when he was in a fight with a whole bunch of thugs, right? And this one fat guy actually took away one of his chucks, and he didn't know what to do with it. He actually ended up knocking himself out. That's my point. That's why I feel like chucks are the best weapon to have, because you can bring them anywhere you want to. You can walk with them. You can bring chucks anywhere you want. But they are a great weapon for self-defense. But it all depends on who's using them. Worry about that. Who's using them? Because yes, every weapon is dangerous, but it only depends on the guy that's using that weapon. Like me, for example, I'm more dangerous than my nunchucks. That's what you should fear. It's like, how can you say chucks are not great for self-defense when there's multiple states that have banned them? You can crack a guy's skull open. You can break bones. You can bruise body parts. Listen, let me tell you a fun fact. I trained with chucks every day. And last week, I actually bruised my elbow using my chucks. And that shit hurt because I have the heavy wooden chucks that are very hard to use. So, and I took painkillers just so the pain can go away. That's how hard I hit myself on my elbow. That shit hurt. So I took painkillers, and dude, still to this day, dude, my elbow still kind of hurts, kind of. So just imagine if I were to hit you on your face with these chucks, if my elbow is still in pain. So let that sink in. For the people who say, oh, chucks are not a good self-defense weapon, look, those are the people that don't know how to use them. I know how to use them. Hours and hours and hours of training. So I know how to use them if I were to be in a fight with them. Because I know tricks, I know secrets, I know how to block what you bring to me. I know what I'm doing. It's like chucks, if you know what you're doing, they are dangerous to the other person. If, only if you know how to use them. If the average man were to take away your chucks, okay, so trust me, they're not going to use them. They might end up hurting themselves with them. That's the beauty of chucks. That's why it's great to learn them. That's why it's great that they are a very complex, difficult weapon to master. Because let's say somebody takes away your gun. Okay, that's bad for you, right? If somebody takes away your gun, that's bad for you. Because, dude, it don't take a genius to know how to use a fucking gun. That's the beauty of it. But it takes time and practice to know how to use chucks. It don't take a genius to know how to use a fucking gun or a damn shank. That's the beauty of nunchucks. If there's a weapon that's hard to use, most likely that weapon can possibly hurt the fuck out you. Because I'm at an advantage. If you were to take my chucks away, who cares? You don't know how to use them. Because they are very complex. Like, for example, I have very fast, quick hands, and I have very fast, quick timing. So just imagine if you were in my face and I had chucks in my hand. Dude, you wouldn't see it coming. That's how fast I am with my nunchucks. Like I said, don't worry about the chucks. Worry about the guy that's swinging them. That's who you should fear. That's the point I'm trying to make. You gotta fear the masters of weapons, not the weapon. It's not the weapon itself. That's the point. So chucks, they do hurt, especially if they're heavy. They hurt. That's why they are banned in most states. Dude, chucks were banned here in California for decades until this year. So let that sink in. You don't ban weapons that are safe, right? By that same logic, you ban weapons that are dangerous. that can kill you if you know how to use them. Dude, I can put a guy in the hospital based on my knowledge and how skillful I am on my chucks. So yes, chucks might be the most dangerous weapon on the market if you know how to use them. And here's the part that I don't like about people who talk shit about, are nunchucks effective, and saying they're not that effective, nunchucks are stupid, blah, blah, blah. When I'm watching these videos on YouTube, have you ever noticed that it's always these geeky looking skinny ass dudes who don't look athletic at all, who most likely need weapons in self-defense? It's always those guys that talk shit. Guys that don't work out, who look like shit in the mirror, these dorky neckbeards. And I'm like, you are not a good representative of saying nunchucks are not good, because you look like shit using them. You don't look athletic at all. It's like some of these dorks on YouTube. I'm like, bro, you don't motivate people to want to buy them or to use them. That's the difference. So maybe that's why these nerds are talking shit about nunchucks. It's always these dorky, geeky ass dudes that don't have a great look cosmetically to even use them as like a badass look. A lot of these nerds, they make nunchucks look bad. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It's always these nerdy ass looking dudes that talk shit about nunchucks. And I'm like, bro, fucking Michael J. White has videos on nunchucks. Look, listen. The only reason that I learned how to use nunchucks, the only reason that I got motivated into using nunchucks was because of Bruce Lee. Because Bruce Lee is a badass. Bruce Lee made nunchucks look good because he had a great look. He had a badass look. And how he swung them, it gave you motivation to want to be like him. Like me, for example. Look, man, I have a great look. I motivate people to want to use nunchucks because I look badass with them. I make nunchucks look sexy as fuck. Let's just be honest. I have a great look. I have a badass look. I'm sorry. A lot of these guys on YouTube, they look like they don't get no women. They look like such dorks. I'm like, you guys don't motivate nobody to want to use nunchucks. Maybe that's why you shit on them. Because you need weapons in self-defense. See, I don't. But that's not the point. I bought nunchucks because Bruce Lee looked like a badass. He had a great look. He had a great look for movies. So that motivated me into buying them. I wanted to be like him because he had a badass look. You see, Bruce Lee had a great look. He had one of the greatest looks for a martial artist in movies. So that motivated me into buying nunchucks because he had a badass look. I wanted to be like Bruce Lee. It's like he had the perfect look for a badass hero in a martial arts film. And he made nunchucks look badass. So that's why I bought them. A lot of these dorks and these neckbeards and these fat ass dudes who are out of shape talking shit about nunchucks, that is so ironic. Because look, you nerds, you dorks, you don't give nobody no motivation into wanting to buy them. Maybe that's why you mad that nunchucks don't work for you. Because you don't look good with them in general. See, let's talk about me. Listen, man, I have a great look. I make nunchucks look badass because I look like a badass. I make nunchucks look sexy. I make nunchucks look like people would want to buy them. I motivate people into wanting to learn how to use nunchucks. Same thing with Bruce Lee. That's why I bought nunchucks. That's why I want to learn how to use them, because I want to be like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee made nunchucks look great. He made nunchucks look badass fuck. Every time I swing them, I feel like I'm Bruce Lee, because that's the guy that I would love to be like. So when you watch these nerdy ass YouTubers who talk shit about nunchucks, let's be honest, you don't want to be like them, do you? Let's say if they did talk positive about nunchucks. I mean, does it matter if they look like shit? Listen, like, I'm seeing a lot of videos on nunchucks. There's always people that don't have a great look for movies, for TV. These people got the fucking nerve to want to talk shit about that weapon. I don't know why. Right? It's always these neckbeards who look like versions who talk the loudest about nunchucks. I don't get it. Google nunchucks. And Google all the people, YouTube all the people who talk shit about nunchucks. It's always people who look like dorks and geeks. Guys that don't look like they get women. Guys who look like they don't fucking work out. guys that look like they need weapons in self-defense. You see, I don't need weapons in self-defense. That's the difference. But maybe that's why they mad, because they suck at using nunchucks. So they want to project onto the world on why nunchucks aren't bad, just because they don't know how to use them. You see, I'm very athletic. I'm very strong. I'm powerful. I'm fast. I'm quick. I got quick hands. Just imagine me hitting you with nunchucks, with my power and my velocity. You will die or be in a hospital if I hit you with my nunchucks, because I'm very strong and quick and athletic with quick hands. And most importantly, when it comes to nunchucks, they work on your hand-eye coordination and they work on your hand speed when it comes to martial arts. So it is an effective weapon in general, in self-defense, and if you want quicker hands in martial arts. So yes, I love nunchucks, but I hate the people who always shit on nunchucks. Let's just be honest. It's never the people that look like Bruce Lee. It's never the people who look like Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? It's never the people that look like me or fucking Michael J. White. It's always the people who look like shit, who always talk shit about nunchucks. That is wild to me. Now look, if you don't know how to use nunchucks, guess what? They are not going to help you in a fight. I think people are missing that point in these videos. Okay, if you think chucks don't work, then most likely you don't know how to use them. So that's why you are trying to downplay them. It's like, look, here is a great example. I don't know how to use a fucking bow staff. So if I were to have a bow staff in my hand, it wouldn't help me because I don't know how to use it. Right? Because I have never mastered a bow staff and I've never touched a bow staff. So a bow staff wouldn't help me in self-defense because I have no training, I have no practice using a bow staff. But if I have hours and months of grinding and training on chucks, then yes, I am dangerous. Just like what Bruce Lee said, don't fear a guy who knows how to use 10,000 kicks. Fear that one guy that knows how to use that one kick at a high level. If I spend hours and hours training with chucks, that means, yeah, I'm dangerous with them because I know all the fucking sweet spots. I know how to protect myself in a fight if I were to use them because that's all I use, right? If you have no experience with certain weapons, they won't help you in a fight. Hell, that goes for all weapons, not just chucks. That goes for all weapons. Like all these, like swords, like if I were to train with a sword, dude, I wouldn't know how to use it. If I had a sword in a fight, bro, I wouldn't know how to use a sword because I've never touched a sword, right? But if you were to get in a fight with a fucking samurai, but you better watch out. That's my point. Who would you fear to fight? A guy with no experience who has a sword in his hand, or a samurai who has spent hours and years with a fucking sword? That's the point I'm trying to make. Don't fear the weapon, fear the guy who is holding the weapon. Because you don't know if he is a master at that weapon. Because look, every time I walk down the street with my chucks, people look at me like I'm crazy. Because they know I'm not to be fucked with. If I'm bold enough to walk down the street with nunchucks, yeah, that means that I know how to use them. That means that I have enough confidence enough that if I were in a fight, yeah, bitch, I know how to use them. I would never walk down the street with a weapon that I don't know how to use. That's facts on facts. If somebody walks down the street with a weapon, that means, yeah, bitch, they know how to use that weapon. When people see me walk down the street with my chucks, they don't fuck with me. They give me eyes like I'm crazy. Because they say, yeah, man, I can't fuck that guy. If he knows how to use chucks, which is very, very rare to see walk down the street, then yeah, we can't fuck with that guy. That's the point I'm trying to make. Fear the guy with a weapon, but not the weapon itself. Okay, I'm done.